All right, welcome to the class. So today we have the given set of raw data, and we're expected to use the data, which is this data, to answer the given questions here. So first thing first, you were asked to study the data. If you don't study the data, majority of everything you are going to be doing will be wrong. That's point number one. Point number two, if you check, you are going to see some blank spaces here. Like here, this row is blank, blank, and blank. So you are expected to clean up this data before you start your analysis. And in the video I sent to you previously, my previous video, I already showed you how to deal with blank rows or empty spaces in your data. So having worked on the data is cleaned. So this is my clean data. So having transformed the data, this is what it looks like. So this is the data when cleaned, formatted, and ready for analysis, as you see. So this is the data. So there are 2,824 transactions in this data, or 823. So then we begin with the first question. Now from question one, carry out the data cleaning on the given data. So we have the clean data. Next, find the average quantity ordered, total shipped goods, canceled goods, disputed goods, in process, goods on hold, total goods resolved. So I have a sheet called General Analysis. I don't want to create too many sheets. So I did my analysis all in one sheet. And then I did the pivot analysis in a separate sheet. So here is my analysis. So please take a look at this. Now you can see I have the average quantity order per transaction. That means in the transaction column, we're going to take the average of all the transactions that ever took place in the 2.5 business year that the company was existing. So, and you can see the formula, taking the average of column B. And what's column B? So taking the average of column B here, and this is column B, quantity ordered. So we're taking the average quantity ordered per transaction, and that is 35. Now we move to the next question. Find the total shipped goods, canceled goods, and all that. So that's number 2, and that is delivery status. shipped, resolved, in process, on hold, and canceled. Now, using the count if, because we are counting the total number of goods that were shipped. So, in all the transactions, 2,617 goods were shipped, 47 resolved, 41 in process, 44 on hold, and then canceled 60. All this was achieved using count if. Then, to get the percentage, I know a lot of you found this difficult in getting the percentage. Now, in this percentage, you first need to get the total of this column, which is this. Then next is using this to divide each of these values. Use them to divide the total. So we have 2,617 divided by 1 divided by 2,823. This is the value. Next is this divided by this, and this is the value. This divided by this is the value. But it's going to give you 0.0 something. So you are expected to click on this column and come down here to format it as percentage to be able to get the percentage value of the delivery status. Now, this percentage value that is here, I don't think that was even asked in the question, but I just did it. Okay, percentage of shipped goods. Okay, yes. So with that column alone, I have solved up to 14. From 3 through 14, this data has addressed it. Next is the total business period. Now, you have a data in front of you, and they're asking you, based on the given data or the data you have, how long have this company been existing? It's simple. Find the date of the first transaction. Find the date of the last transaction. Subtract the two dates. So what did I do? I took the mean value of the other date, and I took the max value of the other date, because the mean is the lowest number in the date or in a given column. And then max is the highest number in that column. So the date value is this. When converted into date format is this. So this is the first, when the first transaction took place, and this is when the last transaction took place. So when you subtract this from this, you get 876 days. So if you divide this 876 days by 2 years, 1 year is 365 days. So if you check this, you can see what I did here. I said J11 divided by 365 days. And I got 2.4. 2.4. Now on this 2.4, it simply says 2 months plus 4. 2 years plus 4 months. Now take note, a year is 12 months. So in calendar, this will likely be 2 months and 2 years and 6 months. So this is the value, 2 months, 2 years and 4 months. That's 28 months in total. So this is for the total business period being analyzed. And then next, according to the question, is the least sold product and top selling product. Least sold product and top selling product. So I now move down to product performance. Now you see the way I played around with colors. When I was checking your works, I was seeing divergent colors. So master this format. I'm going to talk about colors at the end of the class. So product performance, sheep sold this, classic cars sold this. And from the look of things, the darkest shade is the highest value, and the lightest shade is the lowest value. So in this case, classic cars sold, the top selling product is classic cars, both in sales revenue, because I got sales revenue value. If you want to check it by sales revenue, this is the value. If you want to check it by quantity sold, which is count, because this is a count, okay, they are all sum if. When you sum up the quantities sold in each of the sheep of the product lines, it gives you their value. So here we have the top selling product, which is classic cars. Then we have the least selling product, which is trains. And next is overall best customer. And then best customer each business year by product category. Now, I didn't know that this particular 18 and 19 questions will be as complex as it is until I started solving it. However, here is what it is. So customer by year analysis. So we have the list of customers. Then we have the year, 2004, 2003, and 2005. Forget the order. So each customer, because what the question is asking is, tell us the best customer each business year by product category. So you have to look for the best customer by product category, not by product line or not by any other thing, but by product category. So in this case, here are the various customers, and this is how they performed. And if you come down here, you see what each customer have performed here. Now, how did I achieve this? Look at this. I did a whole lot of anchoring. If you check, this is anchored. This value is anchored. At every point, you need to anchor a particular value to get the correct answer to that particular analysis. So this is the customer by year analysis, but that's not all. So I now have to do 2003 transactions. So you can see all the categories here at the top. Classic cars, play, vintage, motorcycles, train, ships, and truck buses. So what I simply did to get this customer bought 0 classic cars in 2023, 0 planes in in short, he bought 0 of all the product in 2023. This particular second customer bought 16 classic cars, 0 planes, 4 vintage cars and 0 motorcycles in 2023. So doing that for all of them, you can now get what each customer have spent in total using the total column. So we now have addition. If you check, you see I sum up everything here to give me their total. So going by the total, you are able to find out which customer performed well in 2023, 2024, and 2025. Now, if you see, I left 2025 so that I can show you how I got to do the others, because this is one very, very important use of either the sum if S or the count if S when you are working with multiple conditions. So if you check here, this is for classic cars, and the product is, or the customer name is Online Diecast Creations Co. So if I come down here and I want to find the total motorcycles this person bought in 2005, look at this. If I copy this formula here, definitely it's going to give me empty because the anchoring is still working. So what I'm simply going to do is, let's look at the count if function again. So if I double click here and I have this and I pull up, so the first is the criteria range. The criteria range, in this case, we are looking at the customer range, which is the first criteria. The customer range, which is this list of customers, and that is N, that is in the N column. If you check your data, you see that in the N column. Yes, so you see this customer name. This is the first criteria range. Let's go back to the analysis. We are dealing with 2005. Just pay attention. The first customer is customer range, which is N2 or N to N. But check, I've anchored it using the $sign so it doesn't move. Then next is, what are you using to check on the customer range? We are using this list of customers. But because you see AG16, AG6 is not anchored, so it has moved one step further because I pushed the formula forward. So what I'm simply going to do, this is AG16. I'm going to move it backward to this. This is exactly where it is supposed to be. And this is it's supposed to be AF, the column AF. So you can see this is now selected. So now I've corrected that formula. And then the third aspect of the equation is, we are through with the first criteria range, then the criterion which we just did now, then the second criteria range. What else? What other condition are you using? We are using the category condition, which is, in this case, we are looking for motorcycles. And motorcycles is currently in the J column in your data. So if you check your J column J, this is J. Okay, no. Okay, that's year ID. The second range, criteria range, is year ID. We want to pick 2005 year. Then you come back here and then you set it. This is the criteria range. And what are we using to check? We are using this, which is BB3. And you can see I've already anchored it here, BB3, which is 2005, which is this. And then the last condition is the category, which is motorcycle. And on the data, we have it in K, column K. So you come back to column K and select. You can see product line, which is this. Ships, classic cars, and all that. So then go back to your data and pick the criteria, which is BA4, and this is vintage car. Now, this is vintage car, BA4, but we're not looking for BA4. We are looking for motorcycle, which is BB4, which is this column here. So we're going to change this to BB4. BB4. You can see motorcycle is now selected, and then you press enter to give you the value that is supposed to be there. Now, because I have set this like this, everything can now go. All I need to do is just copy down because all my formulas have been anchored correctly. So automatically, this is what we have. So we are through with that. And you can do the same for other trains, ship, trucks, and buses, and the likes. So next is in the question. So we've looked at the overall best customer and then the best customer each business year by product category. So we've been able to picture that here based on the total. As you can see here, this is the total at the bottom here. So in all of this, based on product category, we discover that 366 is the top selling product category, and that's classic cars in 2003. And then in 2004, classic cars again hit 442, making it the top performing brand as well. And then in 2005, thus far for the products we've done, classic cars is still taking the lead. So classic car is the top selling product category. And then when it comes to customers, the best selling customers will be the customer in this point that have the highest transaction in 2003. And to do that, all I simply need to do is run a conditional formatting here, come to select the total column, which is this. Select this, go down to format, come to conditional formatting. Sorry, my system is hanging. Okay, so under conditional formatting, I can go to color scale. Then from color scale, I already have my color theme that I'm using. So I'll just change this to this. And then it gives me everything. So I look for the darkest, which is this. So Euro shopping channel is the top selling customer in 2003. We can do the same in 2004. We've already taken the total here. So I just select this, Control Shift, down arrow, then go down to Format, come to Conditional Formatting, and then add a rule here, come to Color Scale, change the color to my color theme. So automatically, let's see. Okay, so this customer here, which is also, still Euro shopping channel. So Euro shopping channel is the top performing customer in 2003, 2004, and thus far is still leading in 2005, even though we've not finished the calculation for 2005. So that answers these questions. Then we also have the number of customers acquired. That's simple. Just sum up. Number of customers acquired. We have that here. There are 92. Just count the total number of customers, unique customers. Count A, not count. Count A. See it. Count A. The total number of customers, 92. So next is so we have 10 minutes more. So let's see what we can cover within that period. So next is, because we've solved this. Okay, peak business period and off-peak business period, the revenue by country, revenue by state. So let's take a look at the peak business period. Now for the peak business period, here is the performance according to, when you are talking of period, you are talking of time. It's a time analysis. When you hear period, it's time analysis. So you see what I did here. We already have the month column. So using the unique function, you see what I did here? I used the unique function to get all the months from the January to 12, which is December. Then I also use the sort function to sort them from ascending order. That's from 1 to 12. And then I came here and used the choose or array formula to set the month taken by the year. If it is 1, it's January. If it is 2, it's February, like that. I can see the way I pull out all the months out. So we have them here. Then I can now use my sum if s the same way I did previously to calculate sum the transaction or the sales column if it is in January and if it is in 2003. You will add it. And that's how I got all of this. So you discover that in 2005, the data did not continue because in these other months, there were no transactions. The business was down. So what is the peak business period? And here is what I have. So you see, peak business period is November. You can see it here. Now, any point where you have a spike, both in terms of, you can see this is 2003, 2004, 2005. Here you see in 2003 and 2004, their sales went up in November. So their peak period, it happened in 2003, it happened in 2004. There's every possibility that's going to happen in 2005 if it continues. But if you check, transaction terminated in May. So they only operated for 5 months, 4 months plus. So their off-peak period is April. Why is it April? You would have been thinking probably is this. But it is April because the 3-year, which is 2004, 2005, and 2003, they all meet at that point. They fall down at this particular point. So this is the off-peak period. Because you cannot say January. If you say January, this is the only one that is only 2003 that they made low sales. 2004 or 5, the sales was high. If you say it's March, only 2004 and 3 have low sales. The other one is high. So the closest to us is April. So this is the off-peak period for the business. Then coming down to sales performance by country, that one is also easy. So you see revenue by country. First, you use the unique function to pull out your countries, and then you use SUMIF to calculate what each country made. You do the same for the state. SUMIF. And then what's left? So customer distribution by deal size and top product line. We already know the top product line to be classic cars. So customer distribution by deal size. In this case, for customer distribution by deal size, here are the following. You can see we have the customer's name, small deal size, medium, large. Then we say average customer deal size and total deals by customer. That means this particular customer ran 26 deals within the 3 years. And likewise, every other customer. So this is what each customer performed. So by deal size, Euro Shopping channel performed over 259 deal size. If I want to find out how many large deal size did Euro Shopping channel, I will do the same conditional formatting here to get the highest value. Likewise here to get the highest value, and likewise here to get the highest value, to let you know which customer performed highest in small deal size, medium deals, and large deal size. In the next question, are there any product that should be discontinued? Give a data-driven reason. I'm going to answer this at the end of the class. I want to wrap up the pivot table and see if I can do that in 2 minutes. So this is my pivot table analysis. It's very simple. It's a walk in the park. So you can see my data. So top selling product line. You can see all the product line. Here, if I click on the edits, you see how the pivot table is being structured. Product line is on the row. The value have quantities and sales, and that's what we have here. And you can see classic cars is still the top selling product by product line. And then when we come down to this point here, we have revenue by year. So the year ID in 2003, we have 3.5 million sales. In 2004, we have 4 million sales, and 2005. So you can see all of them at the top here. And then if you check here, I have my slider here. I can go by country. I can decide I want to see Canada and Denmark, and I say, okay. So now you can see my chart has adjusted. So Canada and Denmark made or pulled a total of about 59,000 US dollars in 2005, 256 in 2004, 153 in 2003. So you can see the way the country is being structured. Anything you select on your filter is what is filtered. And this is the quantity sold in those two countries. So the sum of sales for each of the year, 2003, 2004, and 2005. The pivot table is actually the simplest in the analysis. Okay, so the class is going to end in less than a minute. We're going to come back again so I can explain some things to you. And then this video will be made available to you as well. So I'll see you after when we come back from the class. Thank you.